is up, fam? Welcome to George Reviews. I am the 80s Transformers fan. I hope you all are doing well today as you join me for another episode of George Reviews. Today on George Reviews, I'll be taking a look at DC Multiverse Green Lantern action figures. I have a few that I want to take a look at and add to my collection. In front of me, we have two different Green Lanterns, actually four different Green Lanterns. This is the standard version for Green Lantern Tomari. On the packaging, it does not list the names of the Green Lanterns. You just got to know who they are to know. But you get two in one over here. You get the head for Avon Sur, one of the most famous Green Lanterns of all time. And then over here is the Platinum Chase. You can see the Platinum Chase logo down here. And we get two more Green Lanterns. So you got to track down four of these guys to make all four Green Lanterns, unless you have an extra body laying around. But we get Tomari and Avon Sur over here, and we get Arcus Chamuk over here, and Green Man, and he doesn't put it anywhere on the box. Both of these boxes are the same standard McFarlane boxes for their collector's edition figures. It is a nice window box if you want to display them in packaging, and not so nice if you want to rip up the box and get these guys open and toss it out. So well done by McFarlane, keeping the box nice in the middle there for collectors. And because this is an army builder, I was able to find an extra one so I can swap off the heads. I'm going to need one more of these guys to have at least a body for each one of them. So right now I only have three, but we're gonna make it work because I have the digital version of Hal Jordan. To me, this is the best looking Hal Jordan out right now. This is a little bit smaller box. Again, this is the digital box. This is a Silver Age version of Hal Jordan. Quick look at the back of the box. Funny thing is, his box says 14 and up, and these guys with more and smaller accessories says 12 and up. But that's enough chatter. Let's get these guys open and into the Green Lantern Corps. I'm going to start with Tomari. Tomari comes tied down. Looks like about 5 ties. Let's get this guy out. And like a true army builder figure should, this guy comes with a ton of accessories. Get out Avon Sur's extra head, one large shield construct, and this thing is thick. 2 interchangeable left hands. We get an open palm and a closed fist. They're done in green translucent plastic, by the way, and painted white. Then we get a set of open hands for the ring finger. Curious to see how well they did the ring. And it could have been done better, but I've seen it done worse. Then we get some hands I've been waiting the entire line for. A construct creating hand from the power ring. Oh, that looks so cool. Where has this been for like 4 or 5 years of McFarlane figures? And we just don't get one. We get 2 construct creating ring hands. And this one is creating, I believe that's a Guardian. We're communicating with a Guardian right here. This is just so cool and long overdue. And finally, we get one Green Lantern battery. I'm not sure if this has been reused from before, but I know it's one of the best looking ones. Done in translucent plastic with a little bit of green paint on it. Very nice. Lastly, we have the collector's card right here with the same image from the back of the box. The comic book cover artwork. The back of the card looks like it has the Green Lantern pledge. Doesn't have any bio on the Green Lanterns that you are purchasing whatsoever. So you just got to know, or you just asked out. So. And lastly, we get one humdrum collector stand. They actually put silver on the stand, and at least that's a little bit of a welcome change. When I tell you that was a lot of unboxing for these accessories, I am like exhausted. But I do want to get Hal Jordan unboxed because his box is slightly different, and this is like my theme. So let's do it. Inner packaging for the digital version of McFarlane Multiverse DC figures. We get 2 cards. The second card is for the digital creation of your digital toy, which is like, it's so pointless to me. Here is the digital card. And here is the standard card. And on the back of the card, oh wow, we actually get a bio for Hal Jordan. And as per every McFarlane figure, we get a collector stand. This one has the Spawn, I guess McFarlane logo on it. It says digital, slightly different, a little bit better. In the inner. All right, let's get Hal out. All right, a few tie downs, and he is free. And I really love the fabricless body on DC Multiverse figures. I think I'm going to love this version of Green Lantern. He has two constructs. They're both like flaming green balls or whatever. I believe. Yeah, I just said that. I believe these are reuse in the line so far. This is my first time having them, but I believe these are reuse. And this is a very hard plastic, by the way. We get two interchangeable hands. These are the ringless hands, and these are different than any of the hands packed in with the collector's edition Green Lantern. And one Green Lantern battery. This one doesn't have the paint app on it, and it is different than the others, but we'll take a look at that too. So this completes the unboxing portion of the video. Okay, I got everybody unboxed, and man, it was a chore with all these accessories, keeping track of which fists go where. But here we are, so let's do it. I'm going to start with my favorite Green Lantern of them all, Hal Jordan's version of Green Lantern. Bring them a little bit closer. This is the body style that I like the most. The fabric design is cool. It shows that they put a lot of effort into the detailing of the costumes, but I like just a smooth costume. I got a little bit of paint on mine, scuffing right here on the back. But this is the look that I've been looking for forever from Hal Jordan. He doesn't have the big head. He reminds me of the Superpowers figure from back in the day. Nice little cocky smirk on his face. The hair's curled off to the side. This is perfect for me. The only thing that could have made this look better is the green on the shoulders that this guy has right here. But we'll talk about a little bit more as we go. The Green Lantern logo is printed well onto his chest. He's mostly black plastic. The trunks are green plastic and the boots are, I believe, green plastic. And I'm pretty sure the fists and the gloves up to the forearm are white paint. Of course, the mask is painted on. It's painted on very well. It has the whited out eyes. So we take a look. Let's take a look at his ring. Now I noticed the ring is not very well molded. There's no detailing on it. At least it's painted on the scope for the most part. Maybe the close-up might look a little bit different, but it's painted onto the scope, but it doesn't have the Lantern logo on the ring. And that's weird because the other guys do and other Green Lanterns in the past do. Like, why would they come up with a new separate fist for this guy and it's not as good? Anyway, let's check out Hal's articulation. Hal can look up just a bit, down a lot, side to side, 360. T position, 360 at the shoulder. This little cup rotates. It floats around a little bit too much. Look, what is this? Some type of plastic oil or something on my figure. 360 at the bicep. Nice double jointed elbow. 360 at the wrist. Is it up and down or is it turning in there? Up and down hinge? I don't know. And also, I do like the muscular design of the figure. It's not overdone. He's not too big. He's not too small. This is like perfect. We get the six pack. And speaking of six pack, let's do it. He can articulate 360 motion here. And he can bend over this far, back this far, come to his waist with 360 at the waist. And the waist can articulate back, bringing all this together. And we get this much out of it. And to the front, and we get this much out of it. We get a nice little gap back there. But he has a lot of articulation in the midsection. Come to his legs. The diaper does not hinder the splits. It is very soft, surprisingly soft for a McFarlane figure. I really like that. No real thigh swivel. They need to add this to the figures, in my opinion. Double jointed knee, nice little bend in there. You can see like the plastic grease going on. Coming to the ankle, we get a 360 out of that. To the back, to the front, to the side, and the other side. And lastly, Hal has toe articulation. This is definitely the best Hal Jordan McFarlane figure by far. I love everything about it. And again, the only way he could have been better if he had the green on the shoulders that Tomar Reed has on his shoulders. So let's get one of these guys out here and take a look, get him off the figure stand. And this guy, they actually have different feet than Hal Jordan. These feet are smaller. Why do they go with these tiny feet? I don't know. They look weird just standing there. They're noticeably smaller. All right, take a look at Hal. Like he's wearing different boots and different feet. And it looks a lot better. All right, back to Tomari. He is from Sector 2813. He is a Zudarian from the planet Zudar, and he looks very, very good. McFarlane doesn't play with molded in detail. Look at his head. In the beak, look at the detailing in the beak. It looks fantastic. There's some like purple going on in his mouth. Is that his tongue? Texturing to his head, to this little plume on top. Looks good. The paint apps are very, very nice. The mask is painted on well. The texture body, while I'm not a huge fan of it, this thing is done so well. The muscle structure is fantastic. Looks like all the paint is on point. Check out his gloves. Check out that ring finger. He looks to have the molded in detail done a lot better than Hal Jordan's ring. He has the Green Lantern symbol molded into the ring a lot better than Hal Jordan. Let's get him over here side by side. Let's do it. All right, side by side. Yeah, he just has a blank, and this guy has the lantern symbol on his. Like what's up with that? Why not just reuse the same damn ring? The fabric detailing continues throughout the body. It's been used before. It's nothing new. It still looks good. And again, he's wearing a totally different outfit than Hal. He has different muscle structure. It's similar, but different as it should be. They're wearing two different versions of the Green Lantern outfit, which is very nice. Now let's check out Tomari's articulation. He can look up this far, which is a lot. Down a great deal. 360, some side to side. He can get his arms up higher than Hal in a T position. A little bit of butterfly joint, basically hinge covers. 360 at the shoulder, 360 at the bicep. Double hinge elbow, 360 at the wrist. And the same hinge Hal has in and out. Now, this is where he fails. Well, not fail, but not as good. Now, he doesn't rock back at all. I don't know if it's because he's more rigid, but this midsection doesn't allow him to come back at all. And this is all we get forward. And as far as side, yeah, it's much more rigid. He's not going to spin without stretching out this plastic right here. Now, coming down to the actual waist, it will go for a 360. And trying to get him to hunch forward with the combination of the two articulation points. This is all we get. And to the back, a lot to the back. We're getting the gappage right there, but we can get a lot to the back. And his leg articulation, and to the front and to the back. Just a hair bit of swivel in the upper thigh. Very ugly knee joint, especially when compared to Hal's. It is cleaner over here. That's like just chunked and chopped on this one. Again, no boot cut. I think McFarlane figures just don't do it, but I still check it anyway for standard figure review. 360 at the ankle. Comes forward this far. Back this far. And lastly, he has a toe articulation, which is always a nice inclusion on the action figure. And the last thing I want to look at between these two different Green Lantern body sculpts is the height. And the Tomari is taller while having tinier feet. All right, let's take a look at some of the accessories for these two different figures. We have two different Green Lantern batteries. While I think I like the design of this one better, this handle is just too damn thick. I like the color of this one better, and I do like that they added a paint app to it. So overall, I was packed in with two fist hands, so we're going to have to switch it out to his gripping hand so he can hold his accessory. Just wanted to show it one time on camera, and we're done with the interchangeable hands. Alright, our lanterns are now charging their power rings. The articulation works. It looks pretty good on both of these guys. I noticed that Hal Jordan hands are a little bit smaller. I felt it in my hands as I was changing it out. They're smaller than this guy's. I really hope, and we're going to find out in a little bit, if he can actually interchange this onto his body. And if he can't, I'll really be busted and disgusted. Hal Jordan has one other interchangeable hand. It is this open palm. We don't know what's going on right here. Maybe he's like, stop. He's directing traffic. Or something like that. But Hal has these two constructs, which are like energy balls that we've seen with other figures. I can't think of them off the top of my head right now. But they slide over the fist, and then they're a darker green than the other guy's green. But it's okay. Now, I wonder if there's a left and a right. Is it? Does it have to be? Either I got extremely lucky, or it doesn't matter if there's a left or a right. And here we go. Tomari has a set of flat palms. Let's take a look at the ring on this finger. It is nicely molded. There's some wrinkles in the leather of the glove. I think that's leather on the gloves. Might be totally construct. Then we have what I'm calling a more relaxed hand. So can you be more relaxed than open palm? Again, he has leathery texture or like line work in the glove itself. And next up, Tomar gets the closed fist. And we get the Guardian construct. This is so nice. It really is. And now my favorite construct of them all. This is a long time coming. We finally get a blast effect coming straight from the ring attached to the hand, molded into the figure. And how cool is that? The only way this could have been cooler, and I'm going to spoil the last accessory, is if it could have connected to the shield. Like, how could someone over there not think about that and find a way to have this connect? You could have dropped one of the hands and had a connector point to this thing. And lastly, is that shield. It has the Green Lantern logo on it, but it looks cool. And because of the clip is universal, it can go on either side. I guess we get it on his left side. And let's bring back the energy construct hand and combine it with the shield so Tomari can go on an offensive and defensive attack at the same time. And this is just so cool. Now I say what I believe to be my favorite accessory out of this set for last. And it is the Abin Sur head. I think I got it on there. It didn't snap. His head, it feels a little bit softer underneath than the other heads, but it didn't snap to go on it. And this thing looks awesome. He has little molded in detailing all over his head, sort of like scales. Has the pointed ears. Look at his eyes. And when I turn a little bit, it looks a little bit green. Has purple on his lips. Lantern core. He is also from Sector 2814, just like Hal Jordan. In fact, Hal Jordan took over after his death for Sector 2814. Alright, continuing the head theme and on to our Platinum Chase figure. Here's Arcus Chamuk of Sector 3014 Green Lantern. And I always thought this guy was like a werewolf from Earth. Just a Green Lantern. For a long time. This guy been around for a minute. He's been in the background on a few different Green Lantern animated movies and the Justice League Unlimited. Whenever they show like the Lantern Corps, this guy was always represented somewhere. That head sculpt looks amazing. The hair, the detailing in the ears, it looks fantastic. There's a little bit of dry brushing on it. Looks good. His mask looks good. The three-dimensional detailing of it looks very good. Of course, there's no need to go over the body's exact same body, Tomari and Abin Sur. He helped flushes out the Green Lantern ranks, and he comes with an interchangeable head, which makes the chase even more higher in demand. Again, these heads don't like really click or stick on there. Just came right off for me. And he has Green Man. Yes, this guy name is Green Man. He's been represented a few different ways. I believe he was in a Ryan Reynolds movie as like a blobbier type guy. And then most of the time he doesn't have humanoid feet. I think he has like 3 toes or something like that, or like 2 in the front, 1 in the back. Green Man hails from Space Sector 2828. I know it because it's my birthday twice. Very well molded in detailing all over his head. The mask is cool. He has the green mask on the green face. Seems like it would have been better served to use a white mask or even a black one. But a lot of molding in detail for a Chase head that may not be seen again. And his eyes are white underneath the mask. He has molded in detailing all over his head, sort of similar to Abin Sur. He has green dots on top of his head, some line work on his forehead, a lot of detail. And there's even a little bit of gray worked into here to bring out the sculpt, which is very nice. And again, for a secondary head for a Chase figure, this is pretty damn awesome. Okay, normally I would do a size up and rundown at this point in the review, but I'm just going to do like the head swap and accessory swaps to see which figure can accommodate which accessories and which heads. And I'm happy to report that all the neck peg for the main Green Lantern bodies are the same, all the way back to the John Stewart body, the Hal Jordan 2-pack with the Bat Green Lantern body, and Kyle Rayner's body. And speaking of the more recent Kyle Rayner body paint job from the Kilowog 2-pack, have Tomari head on this guy, but you can see the neck, that shows. But I just want to show you can swap the head and check it out. And he can have the Guardian hand on his wrist, but of course it's green. But if you wanted to, the plastic is translucent green, but if you want to, you can paint it green. If you wanted to have this, if you wanted to purchase this on a secondary market and add it to your Kyle Rayner, it fits on his hand. And the digital Green Lantern Hal Jordan Fireball Flaming Punch construct fits on his hand as well with no problem. Next up is Hal Jordan's head from the first release. Where's the body? Here's the body. I have Green Man head on his body, and it looks a little big on this body, but then again, it is a big head. It looked big on this body. And Green Man head looks a little small on this body, but it actually works because he's like some type of creature. Who knows how big his head is. And also, you can take the construct ring and put it onto the Jon Stewart Hal Jordan body with no problem. It's a little bit loose, but it's not falling off. It doesn't have like the friction on it, but it'll get the job done if you wanted to do that swap. And Green Man looks good with this head. You can kind of see Hal Jordan flesh tone sticking out a little bit, but not much of a problem. You can't see it at all from the front. Next up is Hal Jordan from the digital figure head over here. It works just fine. This is what I wanted to see with the green on the shoulders, but I also wanted the green trunks. I hope I can find another Chase figure so I can maybe heat this up and put the trunks over here, and I will have my Green Lantern from my childhood represented, but I just got to run down another Platinum Chase. I am not paying aftermarket prices. I was able to find my Platinum Chase in all these Green Lanterns except for the digital one at Best Buy. Jon Stewart head fits on here just fine. And because of the green neck extension, it looks good on any figure you choose to bring over to this body. This is like the perfect body for head swapping for the Green Lantern Corps because you don't have to worry about the flesh tone underneath the neck or the collar showing. Speaking of neck flesh tone showing underneath the collar, here's Avin Sur head on a digital Green Lantern body. I like this body best for this guy, but they painted the neck. They could have just left it all green. It still would have been cool. You can strip it off if you want to, or you could try to show off your skills and match the paint if you wanted to. He can hold the shield on his wrist, but if you bring it down to the joint, it's a little loose. And speaking of that joint, this joint will not allow him to hold my favorite construct, the Energy Blast from the ring. It is too small. Let me give a demonstration on camera. If you put it in, it will not stay. Now you can remove the entire peg. I know because I've done it. And switch the whole peg, and then you can get this on here. This one's a little bit bigger, but it will fit and it will work if you wanted to do that. And last but definitely not least is Arcus Chumuk. And this body looks very good on him, even though it's like a larger body, but this wolf head fits onto the Jon Stewart body just fine. You can see a little bit of Jon Stewart's flesh tone underneath the hair, but you can pull it off if you so chose to. And he can hold the newer construct in his hand, and he can also hold the shield just fine. So you could do a lot of part swapping with this Green Lantern Corps Army Builder figure set. Alright, let me sum it up and get out of here. I basically reviewed two figures with multiple heads. The Collector's Edition Green Lantern Army Builder plus the Platinum Chase, and then the Hal Jordan Classic Digital figure. The Hal Jordan Classic Digital figure had the best articulation to me, and it's the better body to me by a small margin. I prefer the smoother old school bodies. The texture looks great. It really does. And it really looks good on this version of the Green Lanterns. But I just prefer the smoother body. But the Army Builder, what they did here is amazing. He cleverly makes you have to buy 4 of these guys at $30 plus tax a pop. They put you just over 120 bucks to build these guys, but they are worth the pickup. They're worth the Army Builder. The only thing that sucks is the Platinum Chase. You got to get lucky enough to find those guys to make the extra 2 Green Lanterns. And he actually changed the body with the trunks being different at the bottom. I wish he gave us the green on the shoulders with the green trunks, because I really wanted that to create my 70s, 80s Hal Jordan Green Lantern. But as it stands, the digital one is close enough for me for right now. This is just a shame that you can't use the hands on the classic digital Hal Jordan Green Lantern. Other than that, man, I really love both of these figures. Happy to build my army and have all these guys in my collection. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, think about subscribing. Thanks again, and I'll see you guys in the next video.